Robert James Ritchie sucks. I'm not going to try and lead you into a false sense of description when describing the now 51-year-old Kid Rock. 51-year-old kid. Whether it's pandering to genres he doesn't relate to, blatantly using other musicians' music to make himself famous, or being an open bigot, there are many reasons why Kid Rock sucks. This video is going to look at 10 reasons why Kid Rock is awful. I am well aware that there are more than 10. If the reason you think Kid Rock is awful was not discussed in this video, feel free to leave a comment below on why you think this man doesn't deserve the spotlight. Also, if you clicked on this video coming in to defend Kid Rock, do something better with your life and stop being offended by YouTube videos, you sensitive snowflake. One of the more well-known issues with Kid Rock to everyone outside of his fan base is that Kid Rock is not who he claims to be. He is not the rebel-born, trailer park living man of the people his image and music claims to be, or even his fans claim to be. Kid Rock has never had those struggles, and one of his keys to success is how much he pandered to achieve fame. Wealthy-born Ritchie claims to be a man of the people, while he himself grew up in an enormous home and had more privileges growing up than most people in the world can dream of. And now that he's spent decades as a millionaire, he still does not know what it means to actually live the hard-weathered life that he claims to represent. He's the son of a salesman trying to sell other people the idea that he understands the working man and how his music relates to them. Kid Rock is a phony, he is an absolute fraud, and his fan base is now mostly made up of either apologists or Confederate flag-waving rednecks. We'll get to that. Kid Rock convinced people that he somehow was an iconic figure of the rags to riches lifestyle while also being the life of the party. He never had to wear the rags, and the only partying Kid Rock has done revolved around seedy concert venues and truck stops. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that one, as I can't get too descriptive on what Kid Rock does and has admitted to and is proud of doing because this video will get demonetized. Now we get into the music situation with Kid Rock, and his music is definitely heard. He made sure of that also as he made a career of genre hopping and pandering to whatever is most popular through the years. It started in the early to mid 90s with his hip hop career, then when rock and nu metal were becoming huge, he switched to that, then in the 2000s he embraced his fake redneck roots and went to country. 3 genres have fallen victim to this phony. You can tell by the style of Kid Rock over the years. What's also interesting is that the music is equally regrettable in each genre, and everything he's done has aged poorly. That can happen to many artists, but to have that happen in every genre you try desperately to break into is an accomplishment. The hip-hop was poorly written and forced. The rock was mostly a backing band helping him with terrible lyrics, or he was straight up using someone else's music as a backtrack. Country music has him playing it up to the southern roots that he does not even have, where he fakes being a good old boy. He, just like the music, is a household name. Just like the name trash or diarrhea. Doesn't mean you should keep it in your house, though. That leads into a deeper discussion on his rock days where he became a big deal in the rock world. It was between Devil Without a Cause and the history of rock, all through 2007 with All Summer Long, that he was making a career out of self-hype songs singing about how big of a deal he was while using other people's music, lyrics, and sometimes both. He wasn't trying to be subtle with it either. Let's discuss some of the songs from that period that made Kid Rock famous. Cowboy, straight up using a bass line and beat that was originally by Boys Don't Cry, which Kid Rock was sued for. Ba Wata Ba, sampling several musicians like Busy Bee and not giving proper credit. Then there was History of Rock, where he re-recorded his own failed songs along with then singing over Metallica's Sad But True. He didn't even try to hide it. That wasn't even sampling. It was straight up singing over someone's music and claiming it as your own. Then there's All Summer Long, where he did get the blessing to use part of Sweet Home Alabama, but it shows he relies on other people's work. There are many examples of this. Twisted Brown Trucker Band played other bands' music, along with Kid Rock singing about himself over said music. So much of the music that Kid Rock claims is not his own, especially key songs that made him famous. His love for the ladies is 100% physical and 100% objectifying. He's made it clear that women are only meant to be slept with. He's proud of it. Not only is this a massive theme in his endless praise for himself and condescension toward women, and him being the amazing cowboy pimp from Detroit. Oh, goodness. It's true though, there are many women who threw themselves at him back in the day. Think about that. They threw themselves at this guy. Yikes. The issue, however, is that women truly are marks of accomplishment for the man, and to be seen as entertainment and eye candy and not even knowing them by name. It's rare to find a song where he doesn't brag about him going off to sleep with a woman. Any woman, doesn't matter, whoever's closest. I think that's why Kid Rock appeals to some of the lower common denominator of music fans, because Kid Rock is in himself a caveman. Woman, object, come here. Kid Rock hungry, bring food. Kid Rock thirsty, bring Pabst. Kid Rock is not any smarter than that. You don't have to think about his lyrics, and Kid Rock lovers don't have to think about how awful Kid Rock is about women. He's a cowboy pimp in his 50s still bragging about all the partying and women he used 20 years ago. And the bragging is in the form of terrible singing and rapping. If that's not a sad description of a man, I don't know what is. Along with music fame came fame in movies and TV. While many musicians have tried their hand at legit acting roles, Kid Rock played himself, either as himself literally or a character so close to trailer pimp that he didn't have to act like someone else. Movies and TV shows would just write around Kid Rock if they could get him for a cameo or appearance. That's it. He offered nothing, just an awkward presence, and to be able to say Kid Rock on this episode. Blah, 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 blah. One of his most well-known was his role in Joe Dirt, where he played the antagonist Robbie, that was a guy who lusted after a woman while blasting music and talking himself up. It's just Kid Rock. He isn't acting. He's just being himself with a different name. Many other roles on TV, he just acted as himself because look at Kid Rock. We have Kid Rock. How do you see this man and see another role or character? It's impossible to take him seriously, so he just has to be addressed as Kid Rock. That's it. He was and still is a huge part of pop culture and made tons of appearances and walk-ons, and none of it mattered. Kid Rock offered nothing. He even made an appearance on The Simpsons and it still was lame. That's somehow impressive too. A big shock to many people is that Kid Rock claims to be politically active. Take that as he's trying to sound smarter than he is. Also take that as he cares about his community. In reality, he's just in it for himself. So much so that back in 2017, Kid Rock started posting videos and making announcements that he was running for Senate in Michigan. It was all a hoax, but his followers believed it, and Kid Rock was happy to lie to them. The fake Senate run was just to promote his upcoming album at the time, Sweet Southern Sugar. Kid Rock and his label Warner Brothers were investigated by the voting commission, but were eventually cleared because even they saw this was a clear advertisement and just a parody ploy to sell albums. That did not stop his fan base from wanting to vote for him. Also, if you ever did seriously want to vote for Kid Rock for Senate, you are definitely one of the problems in our current society. After his music success, Kid Rock tried to venture out into other business fields and diversify. Not a bad idea, as he can't pretend to write original music forever. Enter Kid Rock's Honky Tonk, I can't even say the whole name. The two establishments with his name, one in Detroit, one in Nashville, have earned quite the ill reputation, and Kid Rock has taken matters into his own hands to make them both worse. For starters, the Nashville bar and restaurant had serious citations during 2020 for not operating under mask and social distancing guidelines. Not the first restaurant to do that, but then the Nashville location also lost its liquor license because of violations. Can you imagine the disappointment of Kid Rock fans not being able to buy alcohol at Kid Rock's bar? The Detroit establishment, Kid Rock's Made in Detroit inside Little Caesars Arena, closed down after drunken, offensive comments about Oprah Winfrey, Kathy Lee Gifford, and others were made public. After protests and backlash, Kid Rock decided not to renew the lease, stating that he wasn't appreciated there and should go somewhere where he's cherished. He then complained about how he pumped millions of dollars into the Detroit economy, but that just isn't enough for people to like him. No, that's not. Just because you bring massive amounts of money to an economy does not automatically make you a good person. Neither does owning a gimmick redneck bar for fans either. Animal lovers, skip to the next chapter on this video now. I've censored photos, but it's still a lot, so this is your warning. Kid Rock is not content with self-promotion in music and feeling like a big man at the bar, but he also needs to make sure people know he's a hunter, and he hunts animals that definitely do not need their numbers thinned. I can't stress enough, this man is a poacher, and it's all to look good with a rifle. Do not look up any photos with Kid Rock and an animal, because you will see violent poaching and trophy hunting photos with Kid Rock standing like a buffoon, somehow proving to his fan base that he's tough. Kid Rock even makes sure to go hunting with notable sociopaths like Donald Trump Jr. and King of the Backwater Swamp, Ted Nugent. Have you ever looked at a photo of Kid Rock and said, yeah, he's a man's man, a real outdoorsman? No, because you have a brain. Look at this goofball. You really think he enjoys living on the land and is going to use the animal parts he hunts? No, he's a poacher. And really creepy. Now we get to Kid Rock's passion for the Confederacy. He's rebel-born and rebel-inbred. He's proud of his roots and his heritage and loves to represent Southern rock and the lifestyle that comes with the stars and bars. You know where I'm going with this. Kid Rock is none of those things and panders to the South to keep making money. He supports the South because he tricked the South into thinking he's Southern. That's not ragging on everyone from the Southern United States either. It's ragging on Kid Rock, preying on the gullibility of the Southern Confederacy defenders thinking that Kid Rock is one of them because Kid Rock waves the second place flag proudly. That's exactly what it is too, don't deny it. It was in 2002 that Kid Rock said that he proudly waves the flag as a symbol of rebellion. Rebellion to a free nation. Do you really think Kid Rock understands the Civil War and all it entailed? Do you really think this man got an A in history class when he was in high school? Or an A in any class in any form of education? He doesn't scream well-read. The Confederate flag wavers are upset because they know their side looks bad and they haven't progressed since the 1800s. Kid Rock is upset because he doesn't understand why people don't like him as much anymore. They belong together if you think about it. Second place losers supporting a phony musician. Match made in Miller Lite heaven. Finally, Kid Rock is a bigot. He has proudly proclaimed homophobic slurs and derogatory speech to people of color for years. It goes back much further than his recent drunken rants caught on cell phone footage too. His music has been filled with it over the years. It's not a secret. The Kid Rock apologists even acknowledge this, but still support him because he's one of us. Gross. Kid Rock is gross. Go back in time to the 90s where he made sure everyone knew he was not gay by screaming about how many women he had sex with, along with using slurs about gay people. He was not subtle, and I am not quoting him. I wouldn't want to quote this man anyway, especially when he's gay bashing and just awful to the lifestyles that he doesn't approve of. His music over the years reflected that, and his actions over the years, especially recently, have had him going on drunk rants at his trash bars about Oprah Winfrey, or insulting others by calling them derogatory terms, insulting civil rights leaders in all history, and then never apologizing for it when asked about it after he got sober. Kid Rock does not care what people think, including his fans. This behavior will not stop. Nothing will stop because he's already made enough money with that behavior in the first place. Look up the lyrics to WCSR. Look up the lyrics to Killin' Brain Cells and Pancake Breakfast. Look up the lyrics to Black Chick White Guy. I'm not flashing the lyrics on screen because they are that bad. Kid Rock is a problem. How do you solve a problem like Kid Rock? I don't know. Racists and rednecks won't stop supporting him. There's no positive way to end this video because I'm talking about Kid Rock, so... And that was 10 reasons why Kid Rock is awful. What do you think Kid Rock sucks? Leave a comment and let everyone know. Big thanks to my patrons and special thanks to Chris Doman and Dom Noble. You can have a say in upcoming videos, get weekly new music playlists, and see videos early by supporting Rocked on Patreon. Please click the link in the video description to support the channel. Please subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of upcoming videos, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Finally, as a treat to everyone that stayed to the end, Kid Rock made one of the cringiest music videos I've ever seen. It's in the YouTube cards. It's awful. Click it and see how long you can go without laughing.